Please respond. So what are the topics? You can discuss the previous class. Can you anyone please just topic names?
Compiler, interpreter,
Types of
Excellent.
software, sir.
Very
System
good.
software, application software.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Excellent. So the last class completely we can discuss about the basics of any type of programming language. So that is nothing but the first of all you have to learn about the computer. So there is no perfect definition for the computer. It depends upon your working environment. The definition can be changed from one person to the another person. The definition is changed from one person to the another person. So that is already you can take the example also. So basically the computer is a combination of software and hardware. According to the technical point of view, the software is a collection of programs. Program is a set of instructions. What is meant by an instruction? Set of micro instructions. So what is meant by a micro instruction? It is set of micro operations. It is set of micro operations. So these all concepts can be discussed the example point of view. Suppose if you write the addition of two numbers C program, the C program C is equal to A plus B. C is equals to A plus B. So now here try to understand C is equal to A plus B is an one instruction. Again these instruction again divided into the four micro instructions. That is nothing but the move R1 comma A, move R2 comma B, add R1 comma R2. Again we can move C comma R1. So this is nothing but the micro instructions. Single C is equals to 8 plus B. The system again divided into the four micro instructions. So that's why the instruction is also called as it can be divided into a set of micro instructions. So already know what is meant by a program, what is meant by a software. There is a two types of softwares are available. One is an application software, another one is system software. So the application software is nothing but so it is not must and should to run your system. It is a user conveniency purpose. It is a user conveniency purpose. So that is nothing but the user job can be done in easiest manner. That is called as an application software. That's why the name itself, you are using the Android phones, you are using the Microsoft Teams apps is the full form is nothing but the application software. So without application software, the system can run perfectly. But why we are using the application software? The user job can be done in the easiest manner by using the application software. So that is the application software. Coming to the another side, that is called as a system software. What is meant by a system software? The system software is nothing but basically it can provide the communication between the internal parts of your computer. The communication provided in between the mouse to keyboard to motherboard to like that, the communication can be provided by using the system software. So already we are some of the examples already discussed the system software. That is called as an operating system is the best example for the system software. So other than the operating system, the last class we can discuss three more system softwares are discussed. That is called as one of your friends say that there is a compiler, interpreter, assembler. So what is meant by a compiler? Before going to these three topics, what is meant by a language? What is meant by a language? Language is a vehicular communication between the person to person or person to system or system to person communication. So try to understand language is a language can provide the communication. Suppose if you want to take the, so all of you visible my screen, girls?
yes sir.
So
Yes,
the
sir.
language can provide the communication. Thank you. So the language can provide the communication between the person to system or system to system or system to person communication. So what is meant by a computer language here? So the system, the person can communicate it through the system by using some specific language that is called as a computer language. So what is the system understandable language? It is only binary. It is only binary language. So The binary language is nothing but the low level language. Here we can discuss the different levels of languages. High level language, some of middle level language, or low level language. High level language is nothing but the user understandable language. High level language is called as a user understandable language. User understanding means you are writing the C program, that is the hash include, that is the like an English words. So that is user understandable instructions is called as a, that is the high level language. These high level language cannot be understood by the system. That's why one software is required. What is the software here? Compiler. The compiler is a system software that will be converted into the high level language into the machine understandable code. So that's why what is the compiler definition? Compiler is a system software that will be converted into your high level language. Your English words are converted into the, your source code is converted into the machine understandable code, that is zeros and ones. So that is called as a compiler. So coming to the another system software is nothing but the another important language is called as an assembly level language. Assembly level language, what that name, it's the first generation of the programming language is called as an assembly level language. The assembly level language is in a working by based upon the mnemonic codes. Already know what is meant by a mnemonic code. Add is a mnemonic code, move is a mnemonic code, div is a mnemonic code. Yesterday the last class we can discuss some different types of examples for the mnemonic codes. So the advantage of assembly level language is it can be understood by the both person and system at a time. But the high level language drawback is, what is the drawback of high level language? It is only understood by the person. The system cannot be understood. But what is the advantage of assembly level language here? The both person and system can understand at a time. So that is called as an assembly level language. So it will be directly interact with your hardware. So that's why assembly level language is a second. Now the one more software, system software we can discuss in the previous class, that is called as an assembler. What is meant by an assembler? Assembler is a system software that will be converted into your assembly level language into the machine understandable code. So assembly level language నుండి machine understandable code లో convert చేయడానికి which software is required? That is called as an assembler. So that is the second assembly level language. Coming to the low level language, or it is also called as sometimes machine level language. So here they, that is the another important system software is called as an interpreter. Interpreter nowadays the popular language is called as a Python. The best example for the interpreter oriented programming language is called as a Python. So that what is meant by an interpreter? The purpose is same for the compiler and interpreter. So the interpreter is a system software that will be converted into your high level language into the machine understandable code. But what is the compiler can say in the same definition, and also the interpreter can say in the same definition. What is the difference between the compiler and interpreter? Can anyone please tell me? The last class this topic is already discussed.
Interpreter
Interpreter
executes line by
line
line
by line
checking.
execution is done in
Exactly. Very good, guys. So I am really happy your responses. Thank you very much. So what is that here? The compiler is nothing but the, what is the compiler? The total program can be converted into the object code. Suppose if you are writing the C code, your C code consists of 100 lines of code. Even though single line can having any error, automatically the system cannot execute your program. Out of 100 lines, even though one line can having any error, the system, the compiler cannot be executed. So that is nothing but the total program can converted into the single object code, that is called as a compiler. Coming to the interpreter is nothing but the line by line checking code. The first line cannot having any error, it can be executed. So second line cannot have line by line execution is called as an interpreter. Is it clear, guys? The last class, that is we can discuss about the different types of languages we can discuss. That is the languages is called as an high level language is nothing but your C language, C++, Java, all are comes under the high level language, mission level language, assembly level language. So some C is a structural oriented programming language, and parallelly it is also called as a procedural oriented programming language. Why that is called as a procedural? First of all, we can start from main, then we can go to the declaration section, then we can go to the next statement, the statement based statement execution. Everything is procedural oriented. You can follow some algorithm oriented, so you can some follow some functions. So that is a functional oriented programming language. So printf is a function, scanf is a function, main is a function. The C language completely working by based upon the functions. So that's why it is also called as a procedural language. Procedural oriented programming language can having some drawbacks. What is the drawback? So this is already discussed. So what is displayed on your screen? Can anyone please tell me?
Programming languages.
Yes, what are the programming languages already discussed? Mission level language,
Level, assembly level,
Assembly level,
language,
high level.
high level.
Yes, your that it is in this exam in this in your on your screen. What is the example you can display? This is called as a C program. So that's why C language satisfy the high level language features, assembly level language features, and sometimes the mission level language is called as in a binary. What is meant by a by? By means two values, the combination of zeros and ones. So that's what try to understand. There is a three system softwares are discussed here. What are the three system softwares are? Assembler we can discuss, interpreter we can discuss, compiler we can discuss. Can anyone please tell me what is meant by a compiler? Compiler definition according to the diagram. So the compiler is a system software that will be converted into your high level language into the mission understandable code. Excellent, very good. So what is the interpreter? The definition is same. It will be converted into the high level language into the mission understandable code. But what is the difference between these compiler and interpreter? Already discussed. Line by line checking code is called as a compiler. Sorry, interpreter. The compiler is nothing but the total program can be converted into the object code. Coming to the assembler is a system software that will be converted into the assembly level language into the mission understandable code. So it is mnemonic codes. Add is a mnemonic code, move is a mnemonic code, like that. So every programming, there is a different types of programming language. But nowadays you are living in third generation of programming language. What are the third generation of programming language? 3GL means that is a third generation of program. Very popular user friendly programming languages are developed. So that is called as C, C++, Java, Python, JavaScript, Ruby, and so many number of modern programming languages are developed nowadays. But why that much of preference to give the C language? Already discussed. In the C, each and every instruction is directly interact with your hardware parts. So that's why nowadays every hacker can learn the C language. Every hacking tools can use the C language. Without having the C language and the Linux platform, hacking is not possible. So that's why hardware oriented virus, software oriented virus programs can be designed by based upon the C language. That's why C is very powerful instructions are available in that. So that's why this is a C is also called as a basic level language. It is also called as a structural oriented programming language, and it is also called as a procedural oriented programming language. That is POP. POP means procedural oriented programming. So it can follow some procedures. So that's why now you are learning the third generation of language. Now Java is a high level language or a low level language or mission level language? Because
High level language.
Exactly. I accept your answer. That is nothing but the Java is also one type of high level language. After compilation, it is also called as a mission understandable language. So that is the different types of language. Now, very important point to discuss here, different programming paradigms. So generally there is a two types of programming languages are available in the nowadays. There are two types of programming languages. Programming paradigm means that is nothing but the, so what is the difference between the C and Java? What is the difference between the C and Java? So that is nothing but the C is also called as an C is completely working by based upon the functions. Why? Because printf is a function, scanf is a function, getch is a function, clear screen is a function. Like that, each and every working of your C programming completely depends upon the functions. So that's why the C language is also called as a functional programming language, and it is also called as a procedural oriented programming language. The different names are available for the C language, either functional oriented programming language, or it is also called as a procedural oriented programming language, and it is also called as a modular oriented programming language. What is meant by a module? Module is also called as some type of functions. So that's why, so there is a two types of programming language in real time. One is a procedural oriented programming. What is meant by a POP? POP is nothing but the procedural oriented programming language. Your subject name can be taken object oriented programming language. That is nothing but the OOP is nothing but the object oriented programming language. So what is the difference between the procedural oriented programming language and object oriented programming language? What is an example for the procedural oriented programming language? C, Fortran. In previous slide, try to understand here. The C is a procedural oriented language. Fortran is a procedural oriented language. B.Sc is a procedural oriented programming language. Pascal is a procedural oriented language. So that is nothing but the procedural oriented language is also called as a functional oriented programming language. Sometimes it is also called as a modular programming language. So in the procedural oriented program, the program is a list of instructions to executed by the computer. Already know what is the program definition. What is the definition of the program? What is the software? What is the software? The last class already
Collection of programs.
Excellent, exactly. What is a program?
Set of instructions.
Exactly. What is,
Instructions.
very good. What is the instruction?
Set of micro instructions.
Very good. What is this? What is a micro instruction? Set of micro operations.
Set of micro operations.
Yes, like that, the procedural or functional programming language is like a program. Each and every instruction can be directly interact with your hardware. But try to understand here, what is that? The drawback of procedural oriented is, so it can concentrated on only functions. It cannot be concentrated on data. It cannot be concentrated on data. So what type of functions are performed? Which function can be executed? What are the different types of functionalities can be performed? Only the C language concentrated on the functions. It cannot be concentrated on the data. Sir, what is the difference between the concentration of functions, concentration of data? So I want to give the small clarification here, small example. Suppose ఒక వ్యక్తి ఎవరో ఒక వ్యక్తి మనీని ఏటీఎంలో విత్డ్రా చేశారు అనుకుందాం. సో యూ కెన్ విత్డ్రా ద మనీ విత్ ఏటీఎం కార్డ్. బట్ ఎవరు తీసారో అన్నది క్లారిటీ లేకపోతే ఏమవుతుంది? సో దెర్ ఈస్ నో సెక్యూరిటీ హియర్. సో మనీ అనేది విత్డ్రా అయింది, కానీ విచ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కెన్ పెర్ఫార్మ్ దట్ పర్టికులర్ యాక్షన్? యాక్షన్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ద విత్డ్రాయింగ్. సో విత్డ్రా ఈజ్ అ ఫంక్షన్ హియర్. Withdrawing, the function can be executed, money can be withdrawn, but which person can take the money? There is no clarity. So that is the data is not available here. There is no security by using the C language. So that's why it will be concentrated on the functions. That is nothing but the, yes, withdrawal function can be performed by using the ATM, and deposit function, you can deposit the money 1000 rupees or 2000 rupees on your that is the deposit machine. So but which person can deposit the money? That is called as a data. So there is no clarity, but function can executed, money is deposit, but which person can deposit the money? The which person means it is called as a data. So the lack of security issues are available in C language that is not concentrated on the data. It can perform the functions, that is nothing but the withdrawal function can be executed and deposit function. Like that, the functions are executed very fast, but which object can be performed the particular function, that is no clarity. Is it clear all of you? Because C language wala drawback enti ante, so the major drawback is the functions can be executed, but which person or which object can perform the particular function, there is no clarity. So that is the lack of security issues. That's why you can move into the object oriented programming language, object oriented programming paradigm. So that is meant by an object in this your program. What is meant by an object? Object is a real-time entity. Object is a real-time entity. Your book is an object. Your pen is an object. Your table is an object. Your mobile is an object. Your laptop is an object. Like that, object is a physical entity. Object is a real-time entity. So your pen can having some characteristics. What is the characteristics? What is the color of pen? What is the size of the pen? So that is the properties. What is the company name of the pen? These are the properties. But what are the functions can be performed by using your pen? Writing down the notes, that is writing is a function. Try to understand what is the advantage of object oriented. The data and functions are combined together. What is the data here? Can you anyone your mobile can taken as one example for the object. Mobile is an object or not? Girls, please respond. Your mobile is an object or not? Yes, you మీ మొబైల్ అనేది ఒక ఆబ్జెక్ట్ కింద తీసుకుంటే what is the characteristics, what is the data of the your mobile? What is the data of mobile? What is the company name of your mobile? What is the size of the mobile? What is the RAM of the mobile? What is the internal memory of the mobile? These all are called as a data. That is called as a characteristics of your mobile. Is it right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ఇవన్నీ డేటా కింద వస్తాయి. కమింగ్ టు ద ఫంక్షన్స్, what are the functionalities can be performed by using mobile? Calling the other person and chatting with WhatsApp, like that is called as a calling, SMS. That is the different types of functions can be performed. Video calling, audio calling, like that. So that is can perform the conference, that is called as a functions. So now coming to the C language, your mobile can be implemented by using the C language. So the data is not secure. So what is the secure? The company name is not there and RAM is not there. What is the properties is not there. Only we can perform the calling. The actions can be performed, but there is no data. There is no data security. But by using the object-oriented programming language, the data and functions is nothing but the behavior of the function, behavior of the data, so that the data and functions are combined together. That's why object oriented programming language is a most secured programming language. Most secured programming. Why? Because both data and functions are combined together into the single unit. So that's why it is an object oriented. Why the name is called as an object oriented? Without creating an object, the Java programs are not executable. So that's why that is called as without having an object, the execution is not possible. That's why that is called as an object oriented programming language. The name itself is called as an object oriented programming language. Is it clear, girls? Is it clear?
Yes,
All of
sir.
you? So
Yes, sir.
very good. Shall I move to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So here already we can discuss what is this. This is a functional programming language. Suppose your problem can be, suppose I want to assign the one project to your classmates, that is to design the arithmetic calculator by using the C language. I am assigning the one project is called as suppose in class members there is 5 people are combined together to do the one project. What is the project name? To design one arithmetic calculator by using C language. So here the problem is called as an arithmetic calculator. How many people are there? 5 people is there. 5 people can be divided. Addition can be performed by the one person. Subtraction can be performed by the one other person. Multiplication can be performed by the third person. Division can be performed by the fourth person. Modular division can be performed by the fifth person. Now, what is the here? The main problem can be divided into the small problems. That is the nowadays software industry. One important terminology we can discuss, that is called as a divide and conquer. What is meant by a divide and conquer? The total problem is here arithmetic calculator. The total problem, the large problem can be divided into the small problems. What is the small problems here? The small problem is nothing but the addition is handled by the another person. Subtraction can be handled by the some other person. That is called as the module 1 is a main problem that will be divided into the 2 submodule. Again, this submodule can be divided into the sub problems. So finally, this solution 1 can be generated, then solution 2 can be generated, and solution 3 can be generated. These 3 solutions are combined together. The main problem solution can be generated. So that is called as a divide and conquer. Divide and conquer means it is like an vibhajinchu palinchu. Like that, you can take it as an that main problem can be divided into the small problems. Again, these small problems can be divided into the sub problems. The each and every sub problem can be solved by individually. The results are integrated together. The result integration can be it is a solution for the main problem. So in according to the C language, that is the procedural oriented programming language can follow the top down approach. What is the top down approach? What is your problem? How to divide these problems into the sub problems, and that is nothing but the problems are nothing but the functions. The function is also called as a module. So that's why the main module A can be divided into the 2 modules, submodules. B and C is in a 2 submodules. Again, submodule B can be divided into the again submodule, that is the module D1 and module D2. Coming to the submodule C can be divided into the E. So that is another submodule is called as an E. So like that, the program execution, every program can start the execution from the main onwards in C language. So that's why in C programming language or procedural oriented, that is called as a POPs. What is that? Procedural oriented programming language from top down approach, and object oriented language from bottom to top approach. So bottom to top approach, main is available in the bottom, but your classes can be available in the top part. So that's why every program can execution can start in main onwards. So that's why the main is available in bottom, the class is available in top. So that's why the program execution from bottom to top approach. This is an object oriented approach is nothing but the bottom to top approach, and procedural oriented programming language is nothing but the top to bottom approach. So this is already discussed. Now, what is the difference between the procedural oriented programming language and object oriented programming language? Can anyone please tell me what is a procedural oriented programming language? What is meant by an object oriented programming language? Example, at least an examples. What is the example for the procedural oriented programming language?
C, C++.
Yes, very good. Somebody can say the C++. C++ can satisfy the both procedural oriented language features and object oriented features. So that's why it is an intermediate language. C++ is an intermediate oriented programming language. It can satisfy the procedural oriented programming language and object oriented programming language. But the Java and Python is a pure object oriented programming language. Java and Python is in a pure object oriented programming language. Without creating object is a real time entity. Without having an object, the program execution is not possible by using the object oriented programming language. Coming to the procedural oriented programming language, everything is working based upon the functions. That's why procedural oriented programming language is also called as a functional oriented programming language. Is it clear, girls? So now coming to this one, so this is already discussed. This is a procedural oriented programming language. This is an example for the procedural oriented programming language. So here the main program, your program can, every line, every instruction can be written in C language within the main only. Is it right or wrong? In C program lo code anta ekkada rastarante? Yes, main program lo rastunar. So the main, yes, in the main, what is the first function? Declaration int a comma b comma c something, declaration or initialization. What is the second step? Printf. We can read the values. Printf is a function or not? Printf is a one function. Scanf is a one function. Again the function can be referenced from stdio.h. that is nothing but this function again call. Suppose if you want to perform the user defined function, that is nothing but the void is a my function return type. My function name is add is my function name. Add is my function name. Open parenthesis, closed parenthesis, then curly braces, body of the function. This is a user defined function. User defined function. So the user defined functions and predefined, everything is completely working by based upon the functions. This function data can be called to function 1 can call by the function 5, function 4 can be called by the function 2. So any function, we can jump from one function to the another function, and we can return back to the one function to the another function. So that's why the procedural oriented programming language, everything is working by based upon the functions. That is, the data can be shared. What is meant by a shared? Suppose if you are taken as an NAD traffic signal, all are at a time the green signal can be అన్ని డైరెక్షన్లో గ్రీన్ సిగ్నల్ ఇస్తే ఏమవుతుంది? ఎనీవన్ కెన్ మూవ్? No, it is a blocked state. So that is called as a deadlock state. So that is the all are using. Suppose if you are two persons can use the single pen, so that is called as a shared resources. One can use, another can is waiting, another can use, the another person is waiting. That is the shared resources. The global data can be shared by the function 1 and function 2. So that is nothing but the same data can be used in the different types of functions. Suppose if you are taken as an int, a is a variable here. This variable can be, this is a variable can be used by the function 1. This a variable can be used by the function 2. So all functions can use the global data. Already know what is meant by a global. Before the main function, before the main function, if you declare the any type of variable, that will be treated as an a global. So what is meant by a local? Within the main, any variable can be defined. That is called as a local variables. Local variables. Is it clear? What is the difference between the global and local? Local versus global.
Before main, it's
Yes.
global. Within
Yes.
the main, it is local.
Yes, within the main, the lifetime of the local variable is only main open parenthesis and closed parenthesis. But the global function can be, global data can be taken. Global data can access the any row of the program, either inside the main and outside of the main also access. That is the difference between the global versus local. So that is the major difference here. Are you understand this diagram? It is easy to differentiate what is the difference between the procedural oriented and object oriented. Are you visible my screen? Pops versus whoops.
Sir.
Yes. What we
Sir.
can observe according to the diagram? What we can observe already, this concept is already discussed. So object oriented is the drawback of procedural oriented is data is not secured. Only you can actions are performed. Actions is nothing but the functions can be executed, but which data can be executed by the which function, there is no clarity. But coming to the object oriented, each and every object consists of data and functions, data and functions, data and functions. Each and every object can be working with data and functions. But here the global data can be accessed by using the local functions, function 1, function 2, function 3. So that is called as only the data can be shared. There is a lot of duplications are allowed in the procedural oriented programming language, but in object oriented there is a lot of security. It will be concentrated on data and functions. It will be concentrated on both data and functions. Is it clear all of you? Girls?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
that is the major difference between the procedure. There is a lot of drawback if is available. C language is completely working by based upon the functions, but the Java is a completely the function is name is replaced by the methods. C language lo functions antam, Java language lo methods antam. So here the data can be shared and it is only concentrated on the functions. But here the data and the functions are same preferences. Both can be executed in secure manner. So that is the major difference. So what is the drawbacks is already discussed. So advantages of procedural oriented programming language is procedural oriented programming language can be executed by the compiler or interpreter. C is a compiler based or interpreter based?
Compiler.
Compiler based.
Yes, C language is completely working by based upon the compiler base. There is no need to interpreter concept here. Coming to that, it is a reuse the same code in different places. That is nothing but the sharing code means what is meant by shared data. Try to understand the second point here. The second point is completely related to your global data can be shared without copying. Without copying means if you are declare the one variable int, here the global data is nothing but the before main I want to use the int a is equals to 20. Int a is equals to 20 can be taken. Now this 20 it can be used in the main function and also the outside of the function also. So without copying only once we can initialize before the main, automatically this global data can be used this function and user defined functions, predefined functions, all functions are used. So that is nothing but without copying the same data can be reused. So that is the advantage. So coming to the an easier way to keep the track of programming flow. So it is very easy to understand. Why? Because how the program can be executed. What is the first step? What is the second step? What is the third step? What is the fourth step? Easier way to keep track the program flow. How the program can execute. What is the first instruction can be executed? What is the next instruction can be executed? Everything is a clear manner. Coming to that, the ability to strong modular and structured. What is meant by a modular? This diagram. Try to understand. This is called as a modular programming language. So everything can be modules is also called as a functions. C language completely working by based upon the functions. What is the advantage of functions? What is the advantage of functions? The function advantage is code reusability. Code reusability. It is easy to run. So that is called as a secure. That is called as a strongly modular. Modular is also called as a structural. So it can only less memory. So there is no need to create a more and more objects. Just we can create a single function, main function. Then we can reuse the predefined functions like printf, scanf. So that's why by using the procedural oriented programming language, it can needs only less memory. So what is the drawback here? What is the drawback of procedural oriented programming language? Data is not secured. The first point, the data is not secured. Second point, difficult to relate the real world objects. That is already discussed. Functions can be performed, but which object can be, which real-time object can be perform the particular action. There is a difficult to identify the real-time world. So it is not applicable for the real-time world objects. It is difficult to create a new data types. Suppose if you are create an integer data type, like the data type, you can create a user-defined data type. It is possible only type def. Are you listening? The word is called as a type def in C language. What are the user defined data types available in C language? What are the user defined? User defined. Structures, unions, type
Structure.
def, enum, type def, unions, structures. So what is the major advantage of type def? To create a duplicate data types like an int, your name can also taken as a data type by using the type def. So like that, so user defined, that is nothing but defining the creating a new data types, reduce the extendability. That is nothing but if you are create a new data type, that is not a new, it is a duplicate data type of int, duplicate data type for float, but there is no use, only the duplication. Without having the primitive data type, the user defined data types are not creatable. So that is the another drawback. So the importance is given to the operations on the data rather than the data. That is nothing but the only it can be concentrated on the functions. It cannot be concentrated on inside the data. What is inside the data? That is data is not secure. Is it clear all of you? What is the advantages and disadvantages of procedural oriented language? Girls?
Yes, sir.
So that is
Yes,
the
sir.
major. That's why you are learning the subject name is called as an object-oriented program. Why we are go to the object-oriented through Java programming means the drawbacks will be there in C language. That is the procedural-oriented programming language. That's why you can move into the object-oriented. So can anyone please tell me what is this? What is this? It is already done in first semester.
Structure of C program.
Structure of C program.
Excellent, excellent girls, excellent. So that is nothing but the structure of C program consists of 6 parts. What are the 6 parts? Documentation section, that is the pre-processor directive. Link section is nothing but the pre-processor directives. Third one is also pre-processor directive. Global variables, main function. This is the first one. These two are second part. So like the C structure, Java can also following some structure. So that try to understand the logic is same, but only the difference is the structure of C, structure of Java, structure of C++ can be changed. The way of arranging the data, so way of alignment of data, so only change. The logic is not changed. So that is the third part is global variables or global functions. Fourth one is main function. Fifth one is local variables or local statements. And the last one is user defined functions. Like that, so some are optional, some are must and should for every. So already what is meant by a documentation section is also called as a commenting section. It is only for the user understanding purpose. The system cannot be executed. Try to understand, system cannot be executed. So this is called as a documentation section, single line comment and multi-line comment. Single line comment and multi-line comment. What is meant by a single line comment can be represented as an a forward double slash. What is that? Forward double slash. Comment. This is not new. It is available in C. Documentation section is also called as an a commenting section. The comments are used for user understanding purpose. The system cannot be executed. Guys, are you know the or don't know this concept?
We know, sir.
Yes, very good. So that is the single line comment can be, that is the title of your program. What is the meaning of this statement can be represented this way. So multi-line comment is nothing but the, that can be represented as in a slash star slash. That is nothing but the more than one statements can be treated as in a document comments. That is called as a commenting section. So this is a already this concept is already known in C language. That is the commenting section, pre-processor directives, everything is known. So now next one is very important concept is called as a hoops principles. What is the hoops principles? Basic concepts of hoops. What is the full form of hoops? Anyone please tell me what is the full form of hoops?
Object-oriented program.
Yes, object OOPS means object-oriented programming structure. S means structure. OOPS is nothing but the object-oriented programming language. The object-oriented programming language completely depends upon the 4 principles. The first one is abstraction. Second one is encapsulation. Third one is inheritance. And fourth one is polymorphism. There is a 4 important principles to remember here: abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. Coming to the what is meant by an abstraction. What is meant by an abstraction? Abstraction is nothing but the hiding of data. Suppose ఒక మీరు టీవీ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారు, టీవీని ఏ విధంగా ఆపరేట్ చేయాలో ఇంపార్టెంట్, కానీ టీవీ లోపల ఇంటర్నల్గా ఏ సర్క్యూట్ వాడుతున్నారు, ఏ కంపెనీ మదర్ బోర్డ్ యూజ్ చేస్తారు, దిస్ ఈజ్ నాట్ important for the users. What is that? Essential features can be visible, unnecessary data can be hidden. That is called as an abstraction. Abstraction means, what is meant by an abstraction? Abstraction is a process of hiding certain details and showing only essential information to the user. Whatever you want, that data can be displayed. Unnecessary data cannot be visible to the user. what you are done, that is important, rather than how it is done. That is nothing but what is the meaning here? How to operate the movie, how operate the TV, how to change the channel, how to change the, how to increase the volume, how to decrease the volume. This is enough. But what is inside, how it can be implemented this TV, what are the different parts are used in, what are the different company parts are used for this TV, used for this TV. Just a minute. Check it. వస్తాను, వచ్చిన తర్వాత చెప్తాను, ఒక నిమిషం. నీకు కాదు, నీకు నేను ఇస్తానులే అమ్మా, నేను క్లాస్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత ఇస్తాను, ఒక్క నిమిషం ఆగు, ఇస్తాను, నేను వస్తాను, ఆగు, వేసుకోక. So try to understand here. Sorry guys, here what we can done rather than the what we are done. So that is nothing but, so it is only, suppose if in this diagram ATM can be withdraw the function, money can be deposit, money can be withdrawn, but how this function can be implemented, so what is inside the ATM, that is not important for you. That is nothing but the abstraction is a process of hiding certain certain details, showing only essential information to the user. Unnecessary data cannot be visible. That is the abstraction means simple things to represent the complex problems, simple steps to represent the problems. So suppose if you want to take an example here, TV is the best example. So in your TV, how to operate the TV is also very important, but how the TV is implemented, what are the company parts, what is the internal circuit, what are the components are used, it is not important. So similarly, another example for the abstraction is ATM. ATM is nothing but the ATM can take the money and deposit the money, but how it will be perform the deposit, how to give the money, so what is the internal circuitry, how it will be designed, what is the company parts are used in the ATM, this is not important to the user. So that is whatever the essential feature you have to display to the user, unnecessary data can be hide. That is called as an abstraction. Main feature is called as an hiding of data. Is it clear, girls? Is it clear, girls?
Yes, sir.
Abstraction is clear.
Yes, sir.
The first object-oriented principles is called as an abstraction. So this is a very important feature. Coming to the next one is encapsulation. So take in a tablet. Capsule is nothing but the one tablet. So the encapsulation is also called as a hiding of data. So your tablet can be designed by using the different types of chemicals, different types of medicines, different types of chemical formula can be used by using the tablet, but that will be visible to you. That is visible only tablet shape కనిపిస్తుంది, కానీ అందులో ఏ ఫార్ములా యూస్ చేశారు, ఏ కెమికల్ యూస్ చేస్తారో మనకు కనబడదు కదా. సో దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as an and that is the wrapping of data into the single unit. What is the wrapping of data? That is the, suppose if you are taken as an Java is completely working by based upon the classes. Classes consists of variables is there, methods is there. Only we can visible to the class, the variables and methods are not visible. So that is why encapsulation is also provide the data hiding. That data hiding is nothing but the wrapping of data and functions into the single unit. Wrapping of data. Data means data can be stored in the form of variables and it can be performed by using the functions. So the combining the variables and methods into the single unit, that is called as an encapsulation. Encapsulation is nothing but the, so we can binding the data and functions into the single unit, that is called as an encapsulation. So is it clear, girls? Encapsulation, girls?
Yes, sir.
So here that is but the class consists of variables is there, data and functions. Functions is nothing but the, suppose addition of two numbers, add is a function, a and b is a two variables. So the class is a collection of variables and functions. So this is an example for the encapsulation. So the class can be accessed by using the object 1, object 2, object 3. So that's why object is like a properties and methods. Object is like a properties, collection of objects. Class is also called as a collection of objects. So we can, don't worry about that. A real-time practical point of view, you can see that. Third important principle. What is the third important principle? Inheritance. Already this concept is discussed. What is the inheritance? What is the inheritance? Acquiring all the properties from your parent class to child class. Code reusability, that is nothing but this is a grandparent class, this is a parent class, this is a child class. The properties of A can be used by the B, the properties of A and B can be used by the C. That is called as a code reusability concept. Code reusability concept. Acquiring all the properties from base class to child class to intermediate, that is the derived class. So that is the major advantage of inheritance, is nothing but the code reusability. Already your father and your grandfather can collect some properties, so the child can access, you can access your grandfather properties and your father properties, and you can add your own properties to the existing properties. So that is called as a code reusability concept. Is it clear, girls? Inheritance. Girls, please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the fourth important principle is polymorphism. Already, what is meant by a polymorphism? Poly means many. Morph means it is a forms. Polymorph, that is the Greek word. That is the poly means many, many forms. One name, many forms. That is called as a polymorphism. Suppose your father is the best example for the polymorphism. మీ ఇంటి దగ్గర ఉన్నప్పుడు మీకు ఫాదర్, అవునా కదా? సో ఆఫీస్కి వెళ్తే హీజ్ అన్ ఎంప్లాయ్, మీ మదర్కి ఏమవుతారు? హస్బెండ్ అవుతారు. సో లైక్ దట్ ద సింగిల్ పర్సన్ కెన్ different forms. So as a father, as a husband, as an employee, so the one single person can play the different roles. That is called as a polymorphism. Poly means many, morph means forms. That is nothing but the one names many forms. In this example, shape is an example here. That is a triangle is a shape, rectangle is a shape, circle is a shape. So one name many forms. So method overloading and method overwriting can be available in the concepts Java. That is the method overloading means same function name with different parameters is called as a method overloading. That is also called as a polymorphism. Same function name, addition of two numbers, addition of three numbers. Addition common, కానీ టూ నెంబర్స్కి ఎడిషన్ పెర్ఫామ్ అవుతుంది, త్రీ నెంబర్స్కి ఎడిషన్ పెర్ఫామ్ అవుతుంది. దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ as method overloading or function overloading. Overriding means it is inheritance oriented. That will be discussed the coming up session. Don't worry about that. Is it clear about the polymorphism? Girls, please
Yes,
respond.
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
these are the four important principles. That is called as an abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Four important principles. That is the object oriented principles is nothing but the abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. Tomorrow we can discuss about the what is Java, what is the history of Java, how can you write a Java programs. So everything can be discussed in the Monday session. So all of you clear the concepts today class? Having any doubts regarding today class?
No, sir.
So today class no doubts. If you are not no doubts, please leave my class. So Sari is waiting for the another class. And
Sir,
yes, చెప్పండి.
we want the notes, sir.
You want notes? I will send the, what is your group? Is there
ECB.
any ECB? I will share the material. Don't worry about that one. So whatever the slides, first of all I will provide the slides, then I will share the each and every unit is separately. Okay?
Okay, sir.
సో ఇప్పుడు నేను చెప్పిన స్లైడ్స్ అన్ని మీకు ఫార్వర్డ్ చేస్తాను. డోంట్ వరీ అబౌట్ దట్ వన్, బట్ ట్రై టు మెయింటైన్ ద రన్నింగ్ నోట్స్. ఓకే? రోల్ నెంబర్ 8.
Okay, sir.
Okay, 8. Okay, thank you. I will share the whatever the topics are covered. All slides can be shared in the group, and we can prepare the running notes. After completing the first unit, I will share the complete first unit material. Okay, don't worry about the material. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. You can leave the class.